Hello, welcome. Today we're doing more 14 stormblood, and yeah, let's get into it. Red Bull. Give me wings. With Yotsuyo safely in Goetsu's care, all that remains is to answer Asha's proposal. I realize other matters demand your attention, but I would ask that you stay a while longer to see this business through.
My apologies. Our deliberations took longer than expected.
Think nothing of it. The time afforded me the opportunity to go on a rather rousing excursion through Yansha. You have reached a decision then?
We are willing to cooperate with you in combating the Icon threat, and also in the exchange of prisoners. Assuming you accept our conditions, of course. As you know, your sister is in our care. Due to certain complications, however, we are hesitant to release her into your custody.
Complications?
She was inside Doma Castle when it collapsed. Though she survived, she remembers nothing of her past life, not even her name. To clarify, she is in our care not as a prisoner, but as a vulnerable citizen of Doma.
Are you saying you refuse to release her?
Not at all, if her memory returns before the appointed hour.
And if not, what exactly? You will accommodate her here in Doma?
Well, I sincerely doubt she will be of any great strategic value to the Empire. She spends her days daydreaming of Dango.
Dango? How dreadful. Very well. In light of our recent misstep in Sakazuki, it seems only fair that I show you the same understanding you have shown us. Though I do have one small request. Regardless of Yotsuyu's value to the Empire, she is yet my sister. Before I leave, might you permit me to speak with her in private?
Of course. Perhaps you could even bring her a plate of dango. She would be most pleased. Yugiri will see you to her chambers.
Forgive me, my lord, but has he not been gone over long? Perhaps I should... Calm yourself, Goetsu. I understand your concern, but we have to wait. He deserves that much. I am sorry to keep you waiting. Thank you for your understanding. Long did I dream of this reunion, but never did I imagine it would be so joyless. A part of me hoped your stories of her condition were just that, but alas, it is as you say. Tetsuyu, do you remember anything of this man? Anything at all? No. I am a stranger to her. That much was clear to me from her single look. I leave her in your care. As you wish. Now, if you'll excuse me, my superiors are long overdue a report. They will be elated to hear of our agreement. Of that I have no doubt. As for the exchange itself, once I have obtained the relevant permissions, I will arrange for your people to be relieved of their various duties and sent here to Yangtze. That will take time, of course. Of course, you may rest assured your soldiers will be cared for until your return. We will also begin taking steps to better counter the threat of the Kojin and their icon. Before you take your leave, there is one other matter. I am informed it was you who took lead in rescuing 2 young Domans from a band of Kojin sellswords. I have not yet had the time to thank you properly. Please, there is no need to thank me. I only did what anyone would do under the circumstances. Fortunately, I was in good company at the time. The blight of the Red Kojin is of the Empire's making. Were it not for our transgressions, those children would not have needed saving. The people of Doma have suffered enough, my lord, and I promise to do all in my power to spare them further pain, be it at the hands of Kojin or indeed the Empire. I pray the Emperor will see things as you do. There may yet be hope for us all. Until we meet again. Goetsu, as before I leave Yotsu to you. I invite the rest of you to join me outside. Let's treat Isashi to a proper farewell. If Yotsu is to remain in Doma for good, we cannot keep her confined to this manor. The people must be made to see that she is no longer the monster they remember. Lord Hein has made a wise decision. Our superiors will be pleased. If my dear sister's memory does return, I pray you will take good care of her. I wondered if the sight of her stepbrother might bring Yotsu back to her senses, but mayhap nothing will. Nevertheless, we must continue to watch her until we can be certain that her condition is permanent. Without the threat of Imperial attack hanging over our heads, we may devote our energies to dealing with the Red Kojin, and then there will be nothing left to impede Doma's restoration. If only our previous encounters with the Empire had been this cordial. Here's to the future, I suppose. The ambassador's airship awaits that cash from Flumis. Let us be off.
I wish you a safe journey.
This has been a most enjoyable visit. I look forward to our next meeting. Maxima, would you take the others and see that all is ready for our departure? I simply cannot leave without first giving thanks to the Warrior of Light for accompanying me through Yansha. Mark me, savior of the savages. There will be a reckoning.
You've nowhere left to run, traitor!
Ignorant savages! Killing us will avail you naught. For every Imperial you cut down, 1,000 more will come. Abandon this foolish endeavor and surrender. You may yet serve our righteous cause.
How dare you speak of righteousness? You who forsook kith and kin to serve conquerors! Be glad I grant you this mercy. What in the... Reinforcements? No, just one! Cut him down!
Oh, this is when he took up the blades.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
This one is promising. Who remains to offer us resistance?
A host of rebels led by Lord Cayenne hold the Enclave across the river.
Lord Cayenne.
The king of the The former king of Dorma, sir. They say he is one of the greatest swordsmen alive.
Is that what they say?
Who was that?
Surely you jest. That was Xenos Galvus, legatus of the 12th, the crown-bloody prince. I heard he was strong, but that was frightening.
That was Lord Xenos. Everything you are, your power, even your face, it vexes me. Go on. Lash out like the beast you are at an emissary and jeopardize the newfound peace between Dorma and the Empire. My lord was destined to lead us unto a glorious new age. Your light is nothing to his radiance. I will cherish this moment, lock it away within my heart, until the day we meet again.
Why the frown? Did he say something to upset you? Are you quite well? You looked as if you were about to faint in the ambassador's arms for a moment there. I thought perhaps now we could be at ease, but your expression suggests otherwise. What troubles you, Yo?
You look troubled, my friend. Was it something he said?
Of all the memories to witness. I had my doubts about him, but I would never have guessed he was a disciple of Xenos. My lord.
Calm yourself, Yugiri. I set no store by him or his enlightened brethren. But if by treating with them there is even the faintest hope we might secure the return of our conscripted brothers and sisters, I must play this game. After the way I risked their lives in the rebellion, I owe them that much.
My lord, you bear no blame for their fate.
If not blame, then responsibility. They were prisoners, and still I chose to fight, knowing they could be executed in retaliation. But now we have a chance to bring them home. If it means bargaining with a monster, so be it.
My lord.
Besides, I think he likes me, which is more than some can say.
It makes no sense. Why would he keep bothering up the pretense for so long, only to drop it right before the very end? Perhaps he no longer thought it necessary, having secured Doma's cooperation in the prisoner exchange. If he truly is a disciple of Xenos, 'tis possible emotions simply got the better of him. Remaining calm around the woman who slew his lord has taken its toll. Whatever the explanation, now is not the time for hasty reprisals. We shall proceed as planned. The Red Coach must be placed under surveillance, and the Garlean prisoners made ready for the exchange. But you need not concern yourself with the details. Leave the affairs of Doma to us. When the hour of exchange draws near, we will call for you. I should certainly hope so. Whatever the Empire's true intent, we would be on hand to play our part, either to defend Doma or to help usher in a lasting peace. I had thought we might use this time to return to Eorzea, but given the volatility of the situation, mayhap it would be best if we remained in Kugane. Agreed. Between Yotsu's amnesia and Aisha's doubtless agenda, I'd say we have ample reason to remain in the neighborhood. If anything should happen, anything at all, you must send for us at once. Oh, I will. On that you have my word. Charting a path through this sea of troubles promises to be difficult enough. I am not so proud as to attempt the feat alone. To Kugane, then. Tatu and the others must know of what transpired here. Soon we shall see if Ashi is true of his word. If not, I will be glad to cut out that silver tongue of his. If what you saw of the ambassador is any indication of his true nature, this prisoner exchange may not be what it seems. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder if your encounter with the Red Coach was more than mere happenstance. Since we have naught else to attend to for the moment, perhaps this would be a good opportunity to look into the present state of Garlemald, though I should probably speak with Tatu first. I don't even envy Lord Ein, so much rests on his decision. Welcome back, yo. We heard the good news about Goetsu. I knew you'd find him. Aye, it seems you're all in quite the predicament. Well, should we receive any urgent missives from Doma, rest assured you will be the first to know of it. Yes, of course, we're discussing ideas to replenish our coffers, but I suppose that all can wait if any urgent news should come through the office. About that, I wish to apologize, Tatu. It was reckless of me to make such a purchase without first consulting you. You may be certain, however, that I mean to reimburse the Scions even if it means drawing upon my personal funds. That's very thoughtful of you, but I'm sure it won't come to that. If Soroban's business proposition is as promising as it sounds, Yo should have no difficulty wiping the red from our ledger. Forgive me, Yo. It would seem I have unwittingly heaped my financial troubles upon you. I swear I will pay you back. Though I fear I will struggle to cobble together anything of monetary value, knowledge I can gather in abundance. To start, I plan to investigate the divisions forming within the Empire. Mayhap Briel and his associates have heard something on the subject. Regardless, the more we know about the politics of Garlemald, the better our chances of predicting the Imperial's next move, which might yield an advantage on the day of the prisoner exchange. Knowing what we do of Asai's apparent resentment towards you, I cannot say what he hopes to gain from it. But if there is even the faintest chance that a lasting peace could be forged between Doma and the Empire, what choice do we have but to try? Lord Hine had the right of it. Asai may very well be a monster, but we must play his game for now. Arranging the prisoner exchange proved easier than I thought. Yes, my lord, will be most pleased. Everything is going according to plan.
Can you truly remember nothing? Nothing at all?
Were we friends?
Yes! We were good friends, you and I. In fact, I've brought you a gift. I pray that one day soon, as you gaze into that mirror, you will remember the woman staring back at you.
It's so pretty. Who are you? Who are you?
How are you feeling, my lord?
Fine, now leave me.
So he's an Asian, right? It's the only explanation I got. Whatever Sashi is planning, we cannot let him have his way. After all, Lord Hein has done. The Empire cannot be suffered to hinder Doma's restoration. More often than not, it seems opportunity is wont to come knocking when the signs are about. So long as you and Yosa remain here in Kugane, I'm certain a profitable adventure will present itself. I will replenish our coffers, you wait and see. If all goes as planned, we will recoup at the cost of Goetsu's blade 10 times over. Ooh. Hold up. That'll do. Oh. Ah, yo, impeccable timing. We have just received a letter from Lord Hine. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Garlean's part, the populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yaxia. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hine requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this crucial juncture. According to the letter, Yotsu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in a Doma, assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asashi weren't there, just the one to spot it. Blech. Agreed. Let us make straightaways for the Enclave then. Lord Hine will be waiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Satoru. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. Alphino's been keeping a very careful count of his coins lately. I doubt he'd ask for a sip of water without asking the price first. It's funny. I'm very much in favor of peace agreement between Doma and the Empire. Loosen the Imperial grip by saying let the trade routes breathe freely. We have spared no effort to increase guard at every settlement here in Yaxia. The Red Trojan will trouble us no more. On that you have my word. We know the broad strokes from his letter, but I would hear the details of our Doman friend's progress from Lord Hind himself. Ever since he drained our coffers dry buying that sword, Alphinaud has had his purse strings in a death grip. I can't even buy a cup of tea without him going on about the dangers of frivolous spending. Ah, I see why my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Goetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather worse for the wear, and despite his efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Good gods, is he alright? Confined to a bed and grumbling without cease, but he has grown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it's high time he receives some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yoetsu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. We will visit him at once. Yo, Alize, shall we?
Open wide now.
Pleased to you. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself. I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... A gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink. What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
Leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
They make a convincing pair, do they not? Our first acquaintance, I would think him doting grandsire and or a mortal grandchild. Indeed, had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Goetsu has lost some of his spirit. None of his spirit. But what a turn of events, I mean, for her to suddenly go watching over him. You wouldn't make it up. Although I suppose Goetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains, he will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yoretsu is feeling that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yuguri, out of all of us, I would think you to be hardest to convince. So what makes you so sure? I have been spying on Yoetsu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening I watched her as she sat in the chambers unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami, a child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me, and everyone else I would hazard. Aye, the matter is settled. Yoetsu will become Totsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she as good as fastened the chains around her necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Tetsuyu first, out of the sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The galleons are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Tetsuyu. Even after weeks of surveillance, it was difficult for me to accept that Yotsuyu's condition was genuine, but not as difficult as accepting Goetsu's affection for her. This skiff will take us to our meeting with the ambassador. We will join you at the docks once preparations have been made. Can you imagine Yotsu playing with bowls on the floor? I don't know that we can think of her as the same person anymore. Shall we wait here then? Lord Hines should not be long. My friends, have you seen Tetsuya? She is nowhere to be found. What? But the Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments. If she fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yaguri is scouring the streets as we speak, but it is possible Tetsuya has left the enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? A fair-skinned woman, my lord? I do not rightly know. I think, yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers who I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. White as new-fallen snow it was. Was she someone important to you, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No, I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed, but be at ease, Captain. Twould seem that Tetsuya has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No good can come of this. Yep. Without Tatsu, I cannot see how the prisoner exchange or indeed the peace process at large can proceed. We have to find her, and soon. It seems Tetsuya has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. I must find her before that happens. The responsibility for her disappearance for all this lies with me, but I would ask for your aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Hine. Now as before, let us make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yaguri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. We have no way of knowing where Tetsuya is headed, so we had best divide our forces. I will take Yakashari and its surrounds. Alpha note if you would take the road to Castrum Flumis. Yo, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yakuza Manor? One of the Namazu may well have seen our quarry. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff and hope the kami smile upon our efforts. Welcome to Yuzuka Manor. Yes, if there's anything you care to know, you need only a pale-skinned woman. I have seen no such traveler, I am sorry to say. Most sorry, scaly-skinned Namazu. And on the other hand, we have in abundance. Usually pale skin, yes. I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip. She had just crossed the shallow waters east of here and was headed in a northeasterly direction for the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. Yo, before you ask, our search of Kosakari and its surroundings has yielded exactly not. Save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mistress Alize has gone to assist both her brother at Castrum. at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Hine shortly after. How did you fare at the Yazuka Manor? Any sign of our missing guests? Towards Nami, by the Kami, the villagers recognize her. It will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the patties. The village square is yours.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead!
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies, my lord! She would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry! I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
All of this over persimmon. I failed to consider how she might endanger herself knowing she has the mind of a child. I should have continued my vigilance, not relaxed it. I don't know why everyone is so angry, but I got the fruit Goetsu wanted. I hope he likes it. I'm not scared of her, not anymore. I can't forget what that woman did to us, but I won't do anything to upset Azami. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed, and judging by Tetsuyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Goetsu which brought her to Name. She came in search of a persimmon. And they say the fruit is good for the health. I do hope Goetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum's Lumis and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphinaud and Alize should still be there conducting their search. Oh, the ship is still there. Oh no, wait, that's part of the building. The Imperial airship has arrived. Whether our conscripts are on board remains to be seen. What was the ship? Lord Hein informed us of the uproar of Name. Thank the 12 you found Yoetsu when you did. I dare not think what might have happened had you not. I was sure Yotsu had fled, but it seems her memory hasn't returned after all. How foolish of me did not consider Goetsu craving for seasonal fruit. Do we have to stay here for long? He'll be waiting for his fruit. It would seem our imperial guests have already arrived. 'Tis time we meet with the ambassador.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Fuck this guy.
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
I knew better than to trust Asai, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have to at least put the matter of Tetsuyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave with the Agiri to give Goetsu his precious permission. Come, let us follow them. You have that look, Alphanode. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most likely. We can discuss it upon our return. I suppose Tetsuyu is to become an official Dolmen citizen, but what then? Will they keep her hidden here forever? Or might she one day be allowed to walk amongst the countrymen? So, it would seem there will be one less prisoner at the exchange. I only hope Yatsuyu's presence will not present further problems. We should pay a visit to Goetsu and reassure him about Tetsuyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder.
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, Assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Help! 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 Help me!
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Ooh.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu. A font of misery. You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugani and start a new business.
Yo, fuck this guy.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma, against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu!
What?
No! Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me. To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through. Please, I don't want to die.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
So Yotsu has returned to the bosom of the Empire after all. I cannot say I am surprised, but what I struggle to fathom is Azai's aim in all of this. So Azai got his way in the end, and at the unspeakable price, He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? Yetsu did her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. I kept asking myself when it could have happened. At the meeting with her parents, perhaps? But then why would she? Nay, there is not to be gained from such conjecture. We have recovered the nearest remains and will hold this Cremanic anon. Would that they had never set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Goetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. Okay, how long have I been streaming? I'm gonna take a little break. Be right back. And we're back. So, my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yotsu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is by any measure a cruel twist, that not least for Goetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of the contract, we were bound to surrender Yotsu into the Garlean's hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. But what I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asai went to achieve his outcome. Given this recent contact, his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted, and that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. If the main structure of the castrum's limits is to be the stage for exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. Excuse me. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it is entirely possible that the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I will slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee a way out of the castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Sekibun, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable on the water, assuming a forest Vasho can be convinced to depart with one. Might I take a lead on this? I've had dealings with Vasho and his pirates before. And I won't be alone, will I, yo? Much appreciated. I quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lise won't be there to reprise her role. I am certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I will accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. Come now, Igari. They stood with us against the Empire. If we would ask their aid once more, we must treat them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord, pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphinaud and I shall be about our task. And we should be on our way to Ankoro. Time is short, and Russia may take some convincing. In my mind, Yatsu is deserving of only one fate. Memory loss be damned. And if you don't have the stones for it, we would be happy to take on the burden. It'll be over nice and swift. And now there is a face I did not expect to see. What brings this noble lord of Doma into the company of bilge rats such as we? If you come to offer Doman chains and place the Garlean ones, then I'm afraid you wasted your trip. And what a fine subject you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid at once more. Mayhap you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you, and will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us in all of this? Profit? Must you always think in such short-sighted terms? Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find we're simple souls. You pay the tithe, you sell in peace. Deny us our due, and we take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we are not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mistress Alize. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk, and there is more to be said. According to records recovered after the liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army. And as you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Hine. The losses we suffered at Garlean's hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers, so many vessels to tax, so fewer pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and undoubtedly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well. The Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. Though we have mended her, she has yet to be declared seaworthy. She is sound enough to down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and the waterline rises, those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you'll do me the favor of swimming around to hold the check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Not this Doman lord. If we each inspect a third of the ship, it shall be done in a trice. That is the spirit. The ship is moored at Quick Escape Pier. Our parents' shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Ahanashi. And I thought I had a crack for parlaying with pirates. Knack. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Whoa. So, Yatsu found her way back to the Imperials, did she? I did warn you about being merciful. The Sekiron is more net quick escape spear, and Nanashi when you have finished with your swim. For once, I'm actually glad Yuguri isn't here. I doubt she would have taken kindly to a pirate inviting Hein to inspect his hull. The water is so invigorating. I have not swum in the Ruby Sea since but I should be concentrating at the task at hand. I'm the shipwright, or apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seems solid enough. On the port side near the bow, you say? Alright, I'll have a look and see what I can do. My apologies. I seem to have lagged behind. I could float down in that gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I am happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. Your Lord Hine, the captain sent you to inspect the hull? Kami have mercy. Forgive us all this discourtesy, my lord. 'Tis quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you are from of Doma? Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fares Our Lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain, we found a small crack in the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts, as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life. If he so chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that also so easily put aside? If I allow it, I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot, but he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there is a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more, be it in Yangtze or out in the Ruby Sea. We have a duty to ensure that Inabashi, Ihanashi, and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then this matter is settled. I will make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it would seem we have our ship. Let us return to the Enclave. Thank you for being so thorough. My father may soon be boarding the ship, and I wouldn't want the hull to spring a leak. The castrum was deserted, quite deserted. 'Twas a simple matter to plot the surest path out, hence our swiftness. We found the castrum's tower unoccupied and betraying no signs of recent activity. Only shadows and echoes awaited us there. Alphanode seemed oddly reluctant to linger, but I saw naught to concern us. Alphanode tells me they had a little trouble finding a suitable route out at the castrum, but he won't say much more than that. If I didn't know any better, I'd think he was hiding something, though I can't imagine what. It seems Yagiri and Alphanode completed their task before us. They have been waiting. We scoured the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts with all possible haste. From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now we have but to attend the exchange and pray to the colony these precautions were unnecessary. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hakuro in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. You will see they arrive at the opportune hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us at the riverbank not far from the castrum. As a former soldier of the Empire, I have been chosen to oversee the handover of our Imperial prisoners. Whilst I am so occupied, I must ask that you provide steadfast support for Lord Hine. Yep. Okay. No matter what Azai throws at us, we cannot let that monster have his way. Would that we had not we had some hints as to his ambassador's intentions. Had we not prepared for the worst, I should be wary of going through with this at all. The tower rather spoils the view across the river, does it not? I concede we might perhaps have chosen a less ominous place to conduct the exchange. My only concern is the safe return of our people. That is what my lord wishes, and that is what shall be done. Do not worry about the ship. It will be where it needs to be, and with Tensui at the helm. Your party here is assembled then? Aye, and ready for what lies ahead. I trust lest there be any confusion, though. The tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange, that and whatever else Azai has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yaguri, you are to evacuate the concerts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the Castrum loading docks. She will see you safely home. Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish.
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
A dormant citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run? Spare my pride, would you? I know this foe is beyond me. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Norma. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
That is a really good design. long have I been streaming for? I can get this trial in. I'll be right back with this trial. Just gotta wait for the queue time. I love that.
Oh, it's going to be a long night. Whoa! Your end is near. For mercy. Your death will be all the sweeter. darkness blooms the spider lily. From mortal heights I rise anew. Suffused with night, I shall prevail. Beg for mercy. In moonlight's chill shine petals pale. Whoa! Beg for mercy. Whoa! Suffused with night, I shall prevail! Your end is near. In sunless gloom, black tendrils trail. No, not yet. Not yet. I'll grind you under my heel. Grind you under my heel!
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down. My, such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
Oh, I hate this dude. Ugh! Fucking hate this guy. Holy shit.
Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This doorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point. It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Dorma. I would have repaid his faith.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance.
Yeah.
These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied. You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you. What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead. He will mourn too, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Lord Xenos! Lord Xenos! I am at your disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord.
master, Lord Xenos. He will come for you.
You have prevailed, I see.
She is gone. Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale. I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Impostor or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk her life on countless occasions. Next to her, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
Tis not for me to stop you, but I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
Goetsu dragged himself here from his sickbed only to be greeted by the sight of Yotsu's corpse. I had not the words to comfort him. Ah, Alphino, you impulsive fool. I thought about trying to talk him out of it, but I know what I would say if the roles were reversed. Stubbornness is something of a family trait. I knew Asai was planning some matter of treachery but a summoning. Thank the kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yotsu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit the ambassador's plan. 'Tis little wonder Goetsu departed in silence. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibun before the battle began in earnest, but the vessel yet waits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for Enclave together. It would be a shame to miss the joyous reunion.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
Ah, there you are.
Oh.
Gosetsu, your hair.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
Thanks to Kami, you spotted that cracked plank. That ship ended up bringing my father home. And the captain said, well, let's just say I'm not a private anymore. I'm going to live in Doma with my father. We're free. It will be far too quiet without Goetsu around. I wonder if we'll ever see him again. Oh, speaking of reunions, have you spoken with Nashi? It turns out his father was among the returning conscripts. Goetsu relinquished his duties with a grace befitting a samurai lord. I only hope that I can fill the void which he has left behind. Ah, Goetsu, fair journey to you, my friend. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the Keikan. I would thank you properly. Dope costume. Right. With all that out of the way, Doma should be able to look forward to a period of relative calm. As for us, well, we have an intriguing story to tell everyone back at the Rising Stones. Lord Hein trained under Goetsu from the day he was old enough to hold a sword. Though he smiled through all the farewells, none will feel his absence more keenly. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dreams of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in memory, and one that would never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you I have not forgotten the dark cloud on top of the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern, mayhap the gravest, yet there is still little to be done but wait for Alphino to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Goetsu by building a nation in which none live in fear. I confess, I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yatsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in his past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yatsu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. After the loss of his family, Goetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance, and without hesitation or complaint. Though Tetsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, she might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Were that the kami had been so minded, even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yatsuyu's fate, to deliver her from certain death with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother. Can that truly have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that for a brief moment, a girl known as Tetsuyu lived among us, and that she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. However far this pilgrimage may take, and we have not seen the last of Goetsu, of that I am certain. Doma owes you a great debt, my friend. Thanks to you, we have everything we need to prosper. You and Alze must promise to visit us again soon, and Alphino too, when he returns from the Empire. Know that my thoughts go with him. I think it's time we were going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. But before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in Ragnar's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lise about Xenos. After everything we went through together, we owe her that. They've been quiet since the treachery in the throne room, but the Quaila are a problem we'll need to solve at some point. Yo, Alize, you're back from No Alpha Node? It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garla mode. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? But that is... If that's a joke, gods, this had better be a joke. Look, I know what I saw, alright? We all saw it. And here you are saying he's alive and well and living in high life back in Garla mode. I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself. But while I might doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust the oaths. She saw the Crown Prince through the Echo in a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past. I like how both are the same thing. No, it must have been, I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. We buried him. Aye, and someone went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? Thal's gilded hells. Whatever are you talking about? Thancred, what brings you to the Reach? Alphanode had me lending a hand at the Sultry, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, just until operations were up and running. Now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but if there are some suggestion that late Crown Prince could have gotten better, if so, I might suggest a quicker look inside his coffin at our first order of business. As much as I hate the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave. But if it'll put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. And when there are no curious eyes about it, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Blood O in the Lopes. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked so as not to upset the locals. Then it shouldn't be too hard to find, Nago. You're in charge until I get back. You'll find Xenos graves up at Blood O, the buried ground in the Lopes. The stone isn't marked, but it's set apart from others, so it should be obvious enough which one you're after. My money is on breathing snakes, possibly spiders. Let's pry it open and see what comes out. Most of the Greys are grouped together, but they managed to find a lonely spot for Xenos, didn't they? This is it. Gods, he'd better be in there. Someone crawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had scrubbed it off and thought no more about it. So no one thought to check the coffin if the coffin was still occupied? Well then, we are presented with but one course of action. And we had best be sure we are not observed in doing it. Shall we begin?
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
If there's no corpse, then we can conclude the rumors are true. Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphino's theory of Asian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. You're saying an Asian is walking around in Xenos' body? It seems a distinct possibility. Once I have put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure if the body was ever buried here, and how certain we are Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Raban needs to hear about this. If you find out anything, send word to me at Ragar's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. What with matters settling down in Dama, we were due another crisis. Shall we make for the Rising Stones then? It's past time we shared these developments with others. It's been a while since I've been at the Rising Stones. Wow. We gathered what scraps of intelligence we could, myself from within Neorzia and Alphino from its far eastern sources, but there's a limit to what a bro can learn about the Empire from outside its borders. Still, I'd never think to invite myself aboard an Imperial bloody airship. 'Twas impulsive, reckless. You've got to admire the lad's style. I know grandfather and homie have yet to discuss it, but with the liberation of Doma, it is surely a matter of time before the refugees decide to return to the Far East, no? Another mission fraught with danger, yet here I am still. Quiet moments such as this, spent in carefree conversation with comrades, I have grown to cherish most. Those of us who were failed have finally returned. Full glad am I to have everyone back. The place has been too quiet. Though he is but half the size of my courageous brother, 'twould seem Alphinaud's bravery looms twice as large. Even Hooray might hesitate before embarking alone into the heart of the Empire. 'Twould seem Master Alphinaud has placed himself squarely in the path of danger. As a fellow scion, I shall render whatever aid I can to ensure his safe return. I hope Lydia can find some to keep company with our missions. We can never linger very long. Seeing homie going about his duties with a smile lifts my heart, even as it brings a tear to my eye. Glad though I am for his nation's liberation, I shall be saddened to see him go. I know I need to give his dear my undivided attention, but these waves of brotherly love make my mind drift to naughty places. Focus, Aner, focus. Always read the dialogue, and you will find random shit like that. Especially in a Final Fantasy game. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Urianger over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Your Stola is on her way and should be here any... Alizayo, 'tis good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Disturbing developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that an Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince subordinates, but nay, Alphinaud had the right of it. Would that this wisdom extended to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into the enemy's stronghold, and the shadowy web of paragons, like as not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. You cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was similarly dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead and the right beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan. Every party behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of the star. What are you feeling? What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier. What are you... Have you lost your mind? I have lost many things, but my mind is yet my own. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final blow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins, embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. Okay, so Xenos got in somebody else's body somehow. Alphinaud will have need of all of his wits if he is to survive his visit to Garlemald. We know precious little about life in the imperial capital. Same dialogue. Same dialogue. Okay, how long have I been streaming for? Almost 4 hours. I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for watching, as always. You can catch me at no particular schedule. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. As always, thank you for watching.